Hello, my name is Sylvie, and I'm the owner of Eclairlips. So we're a small Canadian company that makes natural lip balm. And today I'm going to be making a double batch of our Sugared Cranberry lip balm. So if you tuned in earlier, we were preparing all of our trays to be pouring, and I switched up my camera angles to be able to show you what I think is kind of the coolest part, the pouring and the scraping. So I am going to get going. First thing I'm going to do is put on a pair of gloves. So you don't see them just below here, but put on our gloves. And I have actually done a little bit of prep work ahead of time and measured out the lip balm that we're going to be pouring. I'm going to just change the angle of the camera. It's actually my laptop that I'm using. It's not super high tech, but I'm going to put it down so you might not see much other than just my hands working, but just to give you a heads up, that's what's happening. So here we go. There. Now you should be able to see pretty well once I get going. So if you tuned in earlier, you would have seen me prepping these trays. So these are what we use for filling 225 lip balm tubes all at once. So it's a tray and it's got little holes in it, and you pop all of your lip balm tubes into it upside down so that when you pour into these holes, it acts like a funnel and it all goes down into the tubes very easily. But what I'm going to do before I get started with that, I actually have to mix up my lip balm base. So the lip balm base is basically plain, unflavored lip balm. We make our own. We make a huge 75 kilogram batch, and then we store it all. And day by day, we add the flavorings that we need to it. So today's sugared cranberry. So I'm going to get that from my warmer. So here we go. I don't know if you can see, but this is the lip balm base. It's just sitting in there. And then I've got the flavoring that I've prepared. So I just pour that in there. And you can't see it, but I've actually got a sink back here. Just put dishes to wash in there. And then we just have to stir it up about a minute or so to make sure everything is really well combined. It smells really good. This sugared cranberry flavor is one that we bring back every single holiday season because our customers really love it. And it's one of those fun flavors that, although cranberries sound like Christmas holidays, if you still have it come January, it ages well. We'll just say that. It's not like candy cane where you're like, oh, this is very Christmas, like I'm kind of over it. So that's a fun thing about these. And we had our first batch up on our site last week, and we still have a few left, but they've been selling really well, and they're part of our fundraising programs. You know how schools can sell chocolate bars or cookie dough or all kinds of stuff. Well, they can sell our lip balms too. And we have a lot of schools that are fundraising, and this is one of the flavors that they can use, that they can sell. So I want to make sure that we have a lot so that we can get their orders out quick. So I think this should be good. And then one thing that you are not going to see, just put this here, is a little quality control thing I do. I just give this away before I pour everything. So I know you don't see me, but I just record the weights all throughout the process so that I can always double check to make sure everything's right. So here we go, put that here. Just gonna make a note in my batch record. And then we do a quick calculation just to make sure that everything is measuring out the way it should. And it does now. Now we're gonna get to the fun part. Okay. As you'll see, it makes little messes. So we have like this really nice granite countertop here. The company that we rent our space from is actually a granite countertop company. So the space was just beautiful when we moved in. But we put this paper on top just to help clean up the mess because it's a pain in the butt to clean up Melted lip balm. Okay. So just trying to make sure I've got the camera angle. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to try and be really quiet while I do this because it's really cool. It makes these fun little popping sounds. So this in this picture is enough for 2 trays. And I'm going to pour the first tray right now. Okay. I just set that here. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, there, we should be good. So what we're going to do now, I don't know why I'm whispering, but there's still some left in here. And in a sec, we're going to pour part of the second tray, but to keep it warm so it doesn't seize up on it, I'm just going to put it in, I have a warmer over there that keeps everything warm. I just pop foil over it. I thought I'd let you guys see as it hardens up. It really doesn't take very long at all. If you've watched some of my videos, I post a lot of shorts, so they're really quick, like under a minute videos of the lip balm making process, and I answer a lot of questions. And one of the questions I get a lot is, why do you put so much in there? Why are you filling it to the top? Because you see like the whole top of this is filled up where there's like all the spaces between the tubes are filled up. And what you're gonna see as it starts to harden up is that it creates all of these little dips in there. So everywhere that you see a hole for where there's a lip balm tube, there's gonna be a little divot. And if you didn't pour more than what the tube holds, it means that when you pull out the lip balm tube, there'd be a divot in it. But the way it is now, you can see it's hardening up super fast. As it hardens up, we're gonna scrape the top off, and then there will not be a divot. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly. I keep trying to explain it so many different ways, and it's like, it's one of those concepts that makes a little bit more sense when you see it in action. So this is almost good, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna switch these up, and I'm gonna put this one, just move this one over here. It's almost ready to scrape, but not quite. When you can see that there's, the little divots are all the same color, like there's no darkness in them, that means that it's ready to scrape, so another minute or so. So now I'm gonna fill the second one, but I don't have enough lip balm in that pitcher to fill the whole second one in one go, because what I'm gonna need is the stuff I scrape off of this one, but it's not quite ready to scrape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna section it off. And I have these little dividers that I use. I get a lot of questions about those too. And these are actually, my husband made these for me, so I don't think anybody else has them. Then I gotta kind of eyeball how much of this I think is here. I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna fill up just this square, just to make sure. Maybe I'll do the L shape. We'll see. So I've got the rest. Grab my spatula again. Give it a little stir. No, I'm gonna do the square. I feel like, I don't like when I run out because they have divots, or some of them's only half full and then there might be a crack in it or whatnot. I don't like that. Okay, be quiet, we can hear all the cool sounds. Okay, that was a good call. Good call on doing just the one square. So we're gonna let that harden up. And I'm putting my pitcher back in my melter. Just keep it warm, because as you can see, the lip balm will set up really quickly. So if later on I'm scraping the top and I put it into a cold pitcher, it's gonna seize up, and keeping it warm just makes it melt all that much quicker. We've got people with comments. Hello. Oh, hello, Christine. Well, I'm really glad you're here, because I see Christine commenting on our stuff all the time, but usually it's not live, so it's fun to be live with people. I wish you could smell. That's the one thing that doesn't come across in a live. The sugar cranberry is very sweet. It has like a tiny bit of tartness, but it's really sweet. It's really good. It's really good. Yes, good call, right? Sometimes I don't make the greatest call on what I'm going to film. But this time, I was good. I was conservative. So what we'll do is we'll switch them around again while this one is hardening up. Here. And now, this one's all hardened up. So I don't know if you can see, there's little divots. I don't know if they're obvious, but there's little divots in these. But because we poured more than what each tube fills, we're going to scrape the top off, and it's going to leave us with a really nice, clean scrape. So I'm just going to have a look and see. Oh, we've got lots of comments. Yeah, you guys, it's your first time seeing me live, because I don't do lives a whole lot. I wasn't even planning on it, and then I was like, you know what, just do it. It's a little nerve-wracking, especially doing this. There's a lot of steps involved, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a few of them off camera, like all the weighing and paperwork stuff. We're going to do the fun stuff here. So I don't know. Okay, I think this is a pretty good angle. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get yellow scraper today. And what should we do? Just scrape it straight. Sometimes I do little patterns to try and, because I'll grab footage for videos, and normally I just scrape in a straight line. I thought, oh, we'll start doing little patterns to keep it interesting. But maybe today we're just gonna do a straight one, and I'll be quiet for that too, because that makes a cool sound as well. So what I'm gonna do is grab the pitcher so it's nice and warm. I just set it down close by. Hopefully I'm not blocking anything. Oh, Christine wants a pattern. Okay. You guys are gonna have to give me a suggestion. I could say I'm gonna do a cranberry, but let's do a cranberry, and then we can say it's a blueberry. Yeah, let's see. Oh, swirl. Okay. It's a lopsided cranberry. Even this out a little bit. But you see how all the tops are really flat? So I have a little chunk. That's like kind of what the top of a cranberry. Let's say this is the top. Nobody has to know that that was supposed to be the top. We're gonna say this is the top. Oh, you know what? It looks like a Pusheen, the little cat. Here, let's hold it. So it's a cranberry, it's a blueberry, it's a Pusheen. It's I don't know. Feel free to screenshot it and like add add some drawings to it and give it some character. Okay, so that was the fun part. Now we're gonna get to the practical part. We have to get all the extra lip balm off of this. Don't mind the drilling sounds. The company next door is a countertop company that owns the whole building, and they have their warehouse. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know if you guys can see that. Check it out. I almost want to take a bite out of those little jelly rolls sometimes, but they smell way better than they taste, I promise. Ooh, so little, perfect. Okay. And now what I like to do, sometimes there's just little lumps and bumps. I'm using a yellow scraper. I don't like these so much. They're not my favorite, but the other ones are not clean. So I'll use what's clean. Okay, satisfied. So if you have a look, they're all nice and flat. I don't know that you can tell. Can you see? Yeah, they're nice and flat, no divots. They're perfect. So this one's all done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make space for it. And I just flip it upside down. Okay, actually let me show you because like they're all, you can see they're all solid now. Nothing's leaking out. It really doesn't take long for them to set up. So I'll put these here. I put them upside down because there's no need for them to be right side up, and it just protects them from if there's going to be any dust or anything. Not that it's dusty in here, but might as well do that. So now we'll do this little square. Take this off. Another scraper. I could probably use the same scraper, but I don't know, got another one. So we'll get the excess off here, so that's all good. Lots of swirls today. Fun. Okay. Now we'll just scrape this quickly. Just this one was a little bit thicker. The key to the nice little jelly rolls is to not have too much stuff on it, like too thick of lip balm. This one, we just did the little square, so we have a bit thicker. I always get so many questions. I find it so interesting how people pay attention to all the little differences. Because I guess to me, I'll make videos and I think, okay, it's just another scraping video. And I'll be like, this time it was thicker, this time it did that. So it's kind of cool that people notice so much about it. And yeah, there's just little subtleties depending on how warm or cool the lip balm is when I scrape it, how thick I poured it. Yeah, so it's cool. Okay. So now we have this done, but we still have this big L shape that we need to get done. And what we'll do, I'm just gonna flip this around for now, because this is everything that we scraped off, and we're gonna remelt it. And by the end of it, we're gonna have enough to fill exactly what we need and have everything scraped off with very, very minimal wasted lip balm. But first, we just have to wait for this to melt. So what I'm gonna do is make sure I push everything down, because the more contact it has with the metal pitcher, here, and we'll stick that in there so I have it for mixing. The more contact there is with the metal pitcher, when I'm warming it up, the faster it will melt. Stick foil on that. And I end up changing my gloves often because I don't know if you can see, they get like really, can you even see? They're very gunked up. And the next step that I'm gonna do is while I'm waiting to fill these, we've got this tray that's ready to go. So I'm gonna start capping that one. And it's really important that my gloves are clean. When I do that, it's important to have clean gloves all the time. And it's not like it's like anything gross, it's just lip balm. But if I have gloves full of lip balm and I start capping, it's gonna make the outside of the tubes really greasy. And one of two things happens. Either they're greasy and you try to put on a label and it's lumpy and it doesn't stick, which doesn't really happen because everybody who labels things here is very particular about making sure they're very clean. So the other thing that happens is then somebody has to wipe the outside of the tube and it just makes more work for them. So it's easier if I take off my gloves. So I'm just gonna scoot around, change my gloves. I'm gonna go grab some caps for the lip balms And yeah, so if you don't see my torso over here, that's what's going on. Okay. What's in the fridge? Oh, put on some new gloves. Oh, there's a lot of you. I'm having a hard time seeing all the comments just because I'm trying to like focus on this. But hello, am I saying your name? Shalyn? Is it Shalyn? And I'm French Canadian, so I try to make everything sound French. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm not pronouncing things quite right. Okay, so we'll scooch this over. We're gonna bring this one over. I'm gonna get myself some caps. Oh, I guess I should get myself, I need an empty bin because these gotta go somewhere, right? Okay, all the things. Maybe next time I'll be a little more prepared and have all these things ready. So this is one of the more tedious aspects of this, but I'm gonna put all the caps. And before I get started, I'm gonna have a look, and yes, I did get, when there's drops of lip balm on the counter, when we flip things over, they can get stuck here. So I see that I have a few of them that have some. So this is my trusty spray bottle of alcohol. It's like we're always using that here. So it helps sanitize things, but I really like it in this case because it really helps get the grease off of things. But it's not like it's like a cleaner and it's going to leave a smell because it just evaporates and then it's done. So take that out because nobody wants that. And then it's just going to fall into the bin and make everything else greasy. And that's not good. I'm leaning over here and you can actually feel like a slight heat coming up because they're set, but they're still warm. Okay. Okay, we're good. Stick out over here. Okay. Oh, okay, so you can tell me if I got it wrong. Shalyn, you're out by Lake Superior. Yeah, we used to live, it's not Lake Superior. I think the wind is probably like a lot more intense over there, but we were in Toronto for quite a few years and Lake Ontario. Oh my God, like if you're close to the lake, it's windy and it's humid. So I hear you, anybody who's close to like a big lake or a big body of water, lip balm is gonna be your friend. And I always laugh because like, I tell people we're Canadian, we live on Canada's East Coast, we're in Moncton, New Brunswick. And if you're in the US, that's actually a little bit east of Maine. So we're really out there. And I'm like, yeah, if it works for our winters, it should be good for winters of anybody in North America. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop these babies out while everything's melting. Ooh, okay. So this is a boo-boo, but it's not terrible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set it aside and I can probably fix it later. So what I might do, because yeah, see, it's like a little mushed up on the top. It's not terrible, but I might just take another scraper, or we have like utensils that we have just for the lip balms, and grab a butter knife and like the back side of it just to swipe that off. But we'll set it aside. You're supposed to take it out carefully, not like I did earlier. And then it's all set. Sometimes there's like a tiny little bit, it's like just like a sliver of lip balm that comes out around it, but it's all good. And then you pop the cap on. And then keep doing that 224 more times for each one. And I actually kind of like, yeah, usually I'll go down. It's like I have my methods. And we just kind of give everyone a look before we do it, like before we pop on the cap. Another kind of quality control. So basically, by the time you get a lip balm, somebody's looked at the tube, put it in, somebody's seen the tube coming out, somebody's seen the tube when they were labeling it. So there's, yeah, a lot of love and human contact that goes into making these. The only machines that we don't have anything automated. We have like a little machine that we use to put on labels that helps, but it's not an automated thing. It's kind of just like a little label roller holder. And we have some melters that help us make bigger batches, but there's no like dispensing. This is the dispensing machine. Yeah, just keep going. And it was funny when I first started making these videos, I had people getting mad at me because they love the ASMR part of it, but they felt sometimes I had scraping videos where I was scraping and my husband works, both of us work for the company, and he'd be in the background capping a tray while I was scraping one, and people would say like, get rid of the background noise. We want to listen to the scraping. And I was like, well, that's what life is like here. It's just lots of stuff happening all at once. The sounds of lip balm making. I think this is my least favorite part. Just because it takes a while and I find the angle a little awkward on my back sometimes. And sometimes what will happen is I have like, as I pull it out, this one's okay. Do the next one. But sometimes it's like a little extra comes out, so I just remove it like on my hand. Yeah, they're all good. It smells so good. And what's interesting with these is they're sugared cranberry, but we have them with a couple of other different labels. So one of them, we have a line, we call it like our cheeky collection, and then there's just kind of like sassy sayings on them. So the holiday version of cranberry in that sassy collection says, meet me under the mistletoe, like wink wink kind of thing. And then we have a kids one that is called Santa Chuckles. So that's what that one is. So these are going to be getting 3 different types of labels when we're done. That's one of the reasons I'm making such a big batch, because we need them to make essentially kind of like 3 different products. It's the same lip balm, but they get, okay, so here we go. Here's one that had like, I think it comes out like that. So what I'll do is just like put the cap on, and then it's like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like stuck on the cap. So then I'll just go like that. Just wipe that off. Keep going. I usually go faster. Usually, I was talking about this, I did another live earlier when I was putting in all the tubes. And usually what I'll do is I listen to a podcast or an audiobook or some music. And sometimes I'll listen to like heavy metal when I'm doing this part, and I'm like, and I try to go to like the beat and do it quickly. But I don't know if I have that kind of energy today. So we'll just do it this way. Yeah, the other thing I find with this is like, it's just like an awkward, it's like you have to bend over just to say, it's just kind of weird on the back, but it's all right. It doesn't take too much time. I just have to remember to stand up straight. Stand up straight, stand up straight. Okay, here's nothing. Maybe what I'll do for the next one, since that's always like a popular thing, I'll show you what happens if I don't over pour it. So by over pouring, I mean pour like more than what the tube holds and scrape it off. Like what happens if we pour just enough to fill the tube. So we're almost halfway done. this one over here. And I've got Mario, he's out back packing orders, and then in between, he's been walking by his computer to check the comments because he's logged in as well, and he can see your comments and put them up on the screen. Because I told him I can't touch my computer while I'm doing this. Too many things at once. So, oh, Mim, you missed the scraping. There's more scraping to come. There's more scraping to come. There's more. One thing I'm gonna have to show you guys at some point, to get to the scraping, it means we have to make lip balm. And at one point I thought, everybody wants to see the scraping, but I don't actually need to make that much lip balm. So I have a lot of these trays over here, and one of them that I received at one point had a defect. And the company was great, they replaced it for me, and they let me keep the one with the defect. But the defect in it is that some of the holes, like the tubes didn't fit in, I don't know, there's maybe 5 or 6 holes where the tubes didn't fit properly. And it doesn't sound like much, but trust me, when you're trying to pour all this and there's like lip balm leaking out from a couple little holes, it's not good. So I thought, oh my God, I finally have a use for this faulty tray. So I put a bunch of, there's a lot, I know people get on me like, don't waste. When you're making stuff like this, there's always waste. And I had lip balms that I had used I used to do a lot of trade shows, and they were samples that I brought to trade shows, and they were just destined for the garbage. So I thought, you know what? How about I fill this tray with all these, with lip balms that I have no use for. So the ones with like the misshapen holes, I heated up the lip balm tube to like warp the plastic a little bit and shove it in there. So it gives me a nice clean surface where like the tubes are already in, and I don't need like to waste a bunch of like good tubes. And I can just pour on the surface and scrape stuff. So we had fun doing that a little bit. But like the scraping doesn't look as good. It's hard to explain, but it's because the lip balm underneath is cold. And anyways, it doesn't look the same. But I had fun. I let my husband have a go at scraping the tube, because he doesn't usually make the lip balm. He'll help me with other aspects, but he's never really gotten to scrape, so he had fun just scraping it for fun. And yeah, we just keep like a bin of lip balm that's not usable. I did a whole series a little while back about why we have lip balm waste and what we do with it, because like sometimes things happen, and like for some reason, like maybe sometimes we have expired ingredients. Like if I bought too much, which I'm trying to get better at, but sometimes I'll think like, oh, I need like this much cocoa butter, and then I order it and the expiry date comes around, I haven't used it, so I can't use it to make lip balm in that case. But instead of throwing it out, sometimes I'll melt it up with like other ingredients that we're not using, and I just call it like kind of like waste that we can use to do like silly scraping. But anyways, I thought I would do some videos where we just scrape and scrape and scrape, so you don't have to watch. Okay, that's the thing about these. If I throw a little too hard into that bin, down to the floor they go. And if they go to the floor, they're done. I tend to not like putting them in the bin after they've been on the floor. Even if they're capped, it's just, I don't know. Okay, so there we go. That was lip balm waste in action. One of them just went flying. This one has, there. Oops. What I find funny too is sometimes I'm getting footage, and it's like sometimes there's a little chunk left somewhere, and I don't do something perfectly symmetrically, and oh my God, people get mad. It's kind of funny. I usually try to make things look nice, but sometimes it happens. That's life. That's life. Okay. 2 more rows. That means 30 more. And then we're going to go check and see how the lip balm that's melting back down is doing. And in case anyone is curious, it does not affect the quality of the lip balm. I get that question so much because people wonder if it's doing something bad to the lip balm if I scrape it off the top and then I remelt it. And like it melts at such a low temperature. And what we're using, what I call my melter or my warmer, is basically one of those buffet trays. Like if you go to a restaurant and they have a buffet and they've got like the food in this big tray and it's sitting inside a bain-marie. How do you guys call that in English? Double boiler. Double boiler. Sometimes the French words comes first. But yeah, so it doesn't get very hot and it's not warm enough to scorch any of the ingredients. Not like this stuff will never boil. Like it doesn't need to get very hot. Okay. No. Oh, good. Okay, that one didn't fall. There. Three more. Ta-da! Okay, so now we're gonna go put this in the sink. We have a commercial dishwasher. Oh, that was loud. Commercial dishwasher that we use to clean them. And that will be a job for future me this afternoon. Okay, so we have comment here, made homemade chapstick with just beeswax pellets and coconut oil, and somehow it was actually pretty good. You know what? You can, and it'll depend on the ratio that you use. And I guess that's why sometimes people will tell me like everybody has the same ingredients in their lip balm. And there are some ingredients like very similar that a lot of different people will use for making lip balm. And the lip balms can come out completely differently and be very good. And it depends on how much you put in. And let's say if you're using something like beeswax is really hard, but if you have something like coconut oil, depending which coconut oil you're using, it's definitely much softer and like more liquid than beeswax. So if you've got the right ratios, it could feel pretty nice. Okay, so that was just alcohol I sprayed. Everything's clean, but I just sanitize it before I use it. I just make sure it's really dry because we have to go save that one that I kind of knocked out earlier. So what I'll do is just like go choop. There. So this one's nice. Just needs clean off the sides a little bit. There. Okay. All set. Okay. So now, bring this one back over here. I drew myself a little line on the paper so I'll know where I gotta put my trays. Yes, lots of labor goes into making them. Hello, ma tante. Diane is my aunt, and I haven't seen my Aunt Diane. It's been a really long time, hasn't it? So I'm originally from Ontario. Most of my family and my Aunt Diane, they're in Ontario, and I'm out in New Brunswick. So I go back, hopefully, I don't know, once a year, once every 2 years, and my parents will alternate. But yeah, it makes it hard to see. Let's have a look. Okay, it's not done yet, but I'm going to show you how it's coming along. So this is it over here. So what I do is I just kind of smush it around. So if I can break out the big chunks, it melts a lot faster because there's just more surface for the lip balm, like the hardened lip balm, to be in contact with to bring the temperature up. So we'll leave that for a few more minutes. And I'll come see if there's, I'm going to take these guys off. I don't need them for now. And I'll come see if you guys have any questions since I can touch the computer and scroll around. Here, we'll lift this so you don't have to be looking at my torso the whole time. Don't mind I have the craziest setup happening right now. There we go. Okay. Is my mouse gonna work? There we go. Okay. Oh, somebody's got their tinted lip balm in the mail. Yeah, we started making tinted lip balm. We made the first batches like a couple weeks ago, and we put them for sale up on our website. We launched them last week. They sold out. Like there's one flavor color. What was it called? Rhubarb compote. I don't know. I always think French in my head. Compote à la rhubarbe. And that one was not as popular. It's like a coral shade. It smells really good. Like the rhubarb scent is really, really nice. But it was like more of a coral shade. So I thought, okay, maybe people are not as into it. That one has since sold out. But yeah, we have 5 different colors and we're working on restocking them. So hopefully by the end of November, we'll have them. I'm waiting on labels because we had just printed the labels in-house. I made a smaller batch just because I'm still, I don't know, people look at us and they think like, oh, you're a big company. And yeah, like we've definitely grown since I started making these in my kitchen, but we're still a very small company. And I know I've made a lot of videos about like pricing and business costs and stuff like that. So I just wanted to be sure that the tinted lip balms would sell before I went out and I placed a big order for labels, because with labels, we get them printed by like a company that specializes in printing product labels, and you have to order several thousand at a time, and you kind of don't want to do that if you don't have proof that your product is doing well. So that first run was kind of like, okay, proof that things are doing okay. And yeah, so we're going to be working on that. We should have them by the end of November. And there's a few fun things happening in November. One of them is a surprise. I won't tell you about that. And then there's always something happening for Black Friday. If you're not on our mailing list, you should get on our mailing list. But yeah, another important thing to tell you about, I started a notification list. If you want to be notified when we go live, we can send you an SMS. So that should be in the comments. Just sign up with your phone number and we'll text you next time we go live. And yeah, and another thing, if you know anybody that you think would be into watching our videos, we'd love it if you would share. If you're on Facebook, you don't follow us, make sure to follow us so that you get notified. If you're on YouTube, because we're streaming to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get the notifications. And if you are new and you like this, I actually post 2 reels every single day. Like I've done hundreds and hundreds of reels. So if you like this sort of stuff, you like the explanations where I'm talking about what we do and this and that, you're gonna love the reels, because that's all they are. And then every once in a while, some goofy stuff that I did because I was in a mood. But yeah, make sure you follow us and you subscribe, because that helps a lot. And if you share with other people. So I don't know if that's gonna be ready over there yet, but let's put on some more gloves and let's go have a peek. I go through a lot of gloves, but there's some things that are just necessary. It's like, okay, probably not the most like appropriate comparison to be making right now, but I'm gonna do it because, well, if you know me, you know me. It's like toilet paper. You don't want to be skimping on toilet paper, right? There's a reason we use it. We need it for something. And same thing with the gloves and a lot of the stuff that we use here. Yeah, you need it. We're making a whole bunch of lip balm, and you do have a little bit of waste paper towel and paper and stuff. But once you look at it, like how much it was per tube, like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. So let's go have a peek. See those here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I think you guys can see. It's like a buffet thing from the buffet. Okay, this probably needs another like 3 minutes. It's actually melted. And it's like really smushy chunks of lip balm. So I'm not making it sound appetizing on there. But yeah, they're not hard chunks, which means they're almost melted. So I keep stirring. Okay, just gonna keep going. I'm gonna stand here. It's almost melted, it's just cloudy. And I could almost pour it when it's cloudy, but because it sets up so fast, like I'll get people telling me like, you're pouring it too hot and this and that. If I pour it at a temperature any cooler than what I have now, I risk it that it'll seize up in the tubes before the tubes are completely full, and then that creates a problem. So I wait until it's completely melted and it's not cloudy anymore. By cloudy, I mean like it's because it's not melted all the way. Like when it's melted all the way, it's completely clear. And when it's cloudy, it means it's just because it's like still a little bit solid. Okay, it's actually all melted. Just gonna wait for it to heat up a little bit. So in the meantime, okay, chunk of lip balm here. Let's figure out what I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna put this back down. Okay, so we're gonna do some more pouring, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try showing you what I'm gonna pour. I'm gonna do this over here. I'm gonna have to get fancy here. Usually, there's like some standard ones that separations I do when I'm doing just one tray. When I'm doing 2 trays, I have to get a little creative sometimes. So we'll do that. It'll work. You'll see. You'll see. And then what I'll do is I'm going to show you what it looks like when I pour one and I pour just enough in it and I don't pour more than it needs. And if you haven't seen the video where I explain it, or you saw the video and you're like, I don't get it, I think it'll make more sense. Okay. Let's see how this is doing. Okay, I'm just gonna do it one more time. Okay. So let's see if I can see any questions. Okay, so Eric is saying they made a big order in March and loved the banana cream pie. The banana cream pie always, like, I think it's great, but you know when you think about like things that would appeal to people, banana cream pie isn't what you wouldn't think like people would be like, oh, banana cream pie, like we all love it. But that is one of our most popular flavors, hands down. Like we've had it since I started the company in 2015, and we never cycle it out. Some flavors come and go with seasons. Banana cream pie we have all the time. It's one of the ones that people absolutely adore. They say it either like it reminds them of actual banana cream pie, which is how I feel, or they say it reminds them of penicillin, and it makes me laugh. But some people have like these really, it's weird. A lot of people have like these happy associations with penicillin, like it was like the good tasting medication. That and the banana popsicles. I get a lot of people who say that it tastes like that too. So yeah, it's interesting to see what people like. And when I first started this company, I was actually going to have only chocolate flavors, and I quickly realized that that would have been a bad idea. People not into the chocolate. Some people are, but definitely not the way that they are into fruity flavors. Okay. Hopefully this is good now. Okay. This is good. So what I'm going to do, just going to lay this here. And hopefully I'm not blocking anything. I have a little hole here that I have to keep from going into. Okay, we'll deal with that after. Here, we'll just lift it so it doesn't go there. So So let's pour all this. Oh, noisy. Okay. Oh. Here, let's go. I should have done that from the start. Okay. Sometimes it gets messy. It's all right. Okay. Let's do one where we're only going to fill it just to the top. Oh, I messed that up. It's hard to do as well. Okay, there, we'll have side-by-side comparison. Okay. See it? This iron should stay warm. There's still a little bit of that. I really want you guys to see I'll bring it up for a close-up when everything is a little bit more solid. And basically, if you're wondering what the heck is she doing, sectioning, just like that, what I want to do is have enough so that I can pour more than I need for all of the tubes and scrape it off without having any waste at the end. So let's say I had this tray and I filled it all at once, so that was this thick over the top. Then I'd scrape it off and it'd be like, oh, what do we do with all this? Make more lip balm? But then it's like you have to keep going and going of like you would have, I don't know that I'm explaining this properly, but you just get into a problem where eventually you need to stop making lip balm. Like, so I calculated that I have enough to fill all of the tubes. And if I go by section, I have extra to fill it more than I need to so that I can scrape it, get a nice smooth top, but in the end, have just what I want because the sections keep getting progressively smaller. So let's say if I were to make 5 trays, there are times where I've made 5 trays. The first like 3 trays, I just pour the whole thing. Then when I get to the last 2, I start making little sections so that in the end, like my section is like, I don't know, like 5, 12, depending on what's going on. Okay, here I can move this a little bit. So I don't know if you can see them, the 2 that I'm gonna have to get a little creative to show you this. The 2 that I poured right there at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, but the one that has like, one of them has like a lot of extra and a little hole. And when we scrape that, it's not going to be really visible anymore. But the other one has more of a divot inside of it. Okay, this turns out better when we've got the camera. So we've got our scraper here. So if I scrape the top, so there's one that is like nice and flat. They're like the 2 down here. And one of them has, it ended up getting a little bit extra from the one next to it when I scraped it, but it's just not as pretty. So I'll fix it, smush a little bit more. And like if it's one, like a couple in a tray that aren't perfect, I can fix it just by smoothing over some warm lip balm. But like it's not something that you'd want to do with a full tray's worth. It's just not a good idea. Okay. So, oof, these are hard to, sometimes what I gotta do is try them out. Oh. Okay, and I think I'll scrape this and then I will call it a day with the live because I feel like I'm going to keep you guys here forever waiting for me to melt down the little bits, but that's how it goes. So let's look at the picture. It's nice and warm. So we're here, and then you guys, yep, it's a decent angle. So here, let's clean up this mess over here. Not really a mess. Okay. Yeah, these are my least favorite scrapers. I don't know, they just don't glide as nice. Oh, little swirl. A little swirl. Okay. And if I do this when they're still warm, like that's the easiest way to smooth out any imperfections. Okay. So there you have it. So now my next steps, I'll go off camera just because this takes so long, is I'm going to keep going. So the next pour, I don't know, I'm probably going to do, I think the next pour, I'm going to do all of this over here. So I'll section it like that. I think I've got enough to do all that. And then I'll scrape that off. You'll see that's like a lot less of a surface area to scrape. And then I'm going to be left with this at the end. And I might even block off like 4 of them, like that. And then once I've done that and I scrape that off, I can fill those last 4. And like, it depends. Some people are getting on me like, oh, there's waste, there's always some left. And like, this can get kind of tedious if I keep going and going. You just have to call it a day at some point. You have to call it a day. So that's basically what happens. And then after a while, you're like, okay, I'm calling it a day. There's going to be a little bit of lip balm throughout, but we got this done as efficiently as possible. So while I'm waiting, I'm just going to flip this over, keep it away from any dust. Not that it's dusty, but just to, might as well because it's solid. Okay, let's get these gloves off and I can tell you a proper thank you and a proper goodbye. I'm just going to see, it says I've got new comments. And I think, yeah, so if chapstick is hard to make, it depends. It depends. I don't find it's especially, I think getting the right formula can be hard. Figuring out how to scale it, which means basically making more than just like a small recipe and being efficient. That was difficult. But making lip balm, if you wanted to make lip balm at home, it's not really all that difficult. It's kind of like, if you like baking, you probably like making lip balm. It doesn't require any fancy equipment. You need like a double boiler and the ingredients that you want. I guess it'd be like making a cake. You'd have to spend a lot of time looking for the cake recipe that you want, just like a lip balm, look for the lip balm recipe and finding the ingredients. And sometimes the ingredients people want to use can be hard to find, or they can be expensive. And you think, oh, do I have to spend all that money to make like a couple of lip balms? So it's not so much that's hard. It's just different things to consider if you want to make it, but it can be fun. It can be fun. And yeah, well, I think it's fun, obviously. Well, anyways, thank you so much for joining me. It was really fun actually having people watch. Usually I'm just doing this on my own. And if you want to be notified next time we go live, there is a link in the description or the comments with our SMS list. And if you want a sugared cranberry lip balm, like the ones I've been making here, they are on our website and you can get them. And the link is in the comments for that too. Thank you so much. And I hope you're going to join me again next time. Bye.